Hello, hello. The campus party. I think game changer, dreamer, troublemaker. I think you got me. I'm Kay Lummitsch, the digital journeyman, and this is my friend Suresh.
Hi.
Hi. So we're on the campus party.
Yes. Thank you for inviting me. Fantastic.
So this is super cool. The title says something like Botten and Klum, because we're running a show, actually a YouTube show, and Suresh is not Brian Otten, and this Suresh is our special guest, and Brian just got lost. And so today, I think he would hop on immediately. If you read this, maybe he's got technical problems or problems with this internet or something like that. But we are here. This is super cool. And today we want to talk about creativity, or how to live a life, the weird track the life takes. And so I think we've got a really, really young audience today. And so I'm happy about that. Usually our audience is older. They are really mature in their jobs, and we're talking about digitalization. And today we've got this wonderful audience, and we are going to talk about what we did, how we got to the point where we are right now, and about our way and how this belongs to creativity. So, Suresh, what's your idea about that?
I mean, industrial revolution accelerate us in a way that today we have all the technical support that humanity can live in a very successful way. I mean, we should not complain that we have a bad life. And how we optimize our life, I think, with the digital tools and the digital possibilities today is, for me, is a very nice, fantastic paradigm shift of human life. Further to see that where we are heading, and the COVID-19 in a way is a bad thing, at the same time is other digital life and connecting us to live in a way that we never thought about it. Today, everyone is using the digital tool to optimize our life. Is some of the people are suffering, is sad to hear that, and is pity for that. And I mean, COVID-19 is aggressively affecting our life, but at the same time we are learning new things that young generation, now how they should be careful about the future of their life and how they can optimize from the learning curve from what we did and also what we are learning with them together, and they should accelerate their life in the future perspective way.
Absolutely. And we're working a lot with startups. So again, millennials, and it's always a pleasure to see these eyes with these ideas coming up with these fantastic ideas to build new products. This is one part. But coming back to the idea that we initially had, I'm going to talk a little bit about my past toward this point where I'm a digital catalyst now with Xway, a big platform provider of hybrid integration platforms. But it was a really hard way. I just thought about it minutes before. I always wanted to study during my school time, and I had the idea to study something like philosophy and physics. But then it turned out that I flew from school when I was 16. So there was no school anymore. And what I did from that time, I was a seaman for 8 years, 4 years on trading ships and 4 years as a submarine navigator. So a completely different path that has got seemingly nothing to do with the stuff I'm doing right now, but connecting the dots backwards, it made absolutely sense, because this gives you some kind of leadership. And then after being in the Navy, I struggled a bit. I hang loose somehow. Then I worked in bars. I had an own scaffold building company. I built a big, huge mahogany sailing ships with my own hands before somebody talked to me when I just made a pint from the tap for him that a company in Hamburg in Germany was looking for a software developer. I just have typed some computer programs into my HP 48GX and made some navigation simulation programs. I had nothing to do with IT before, but I always had this dream of being some connecting philosophy and with science at the end. I'm just reading that Brian Otten will join us. So this is fantastic. He just made it. So we'll hop on as well. And from this point, my life changed and I was a software developer in this company. And so I started as an apprentice at this time. And 4 years later, I managed to be the head of the software development department, just without having never visited a university, never did something like that. And then at the same time, when I was a freelancer in IT, I opened an artistic shop for children and had offered unicycle courses and trained trainers and teachers, something like that. And to just continue that. Then I started the coaching education for 6 years, and then everything changed. And so I had something on my forehead that said, please help me, or I can help you. Please help me, it's funny as well. I should create a t-shirt, please help me, Suresh. You're gonna design it, okay?
Okay. Good.
And from then, I really I switched my title on LinkedIn from software developer to IT coach, and everybody said you can't do this. Nobody will look out for you. And it took exactly 2 weeks. Then I got a call from a big telco company here in Switzerland. I'm actually German, so I had to move to Switzerland to lead a big digital program. And now I'm part of a global digital catalyst team, traveling around the world. I'm on almost every big stage talking about how to adopt the digital. This is my path. Suresh, how about you? I think you've got something like that as well.
Yeah, it's very, when I grew up, it's very, very tough time. We went through, and our family, we suffered a lot. And I was in my life path. My father delivered me a lot of technical, how you call it, the DNA transfer happened. The DNA transformation, what he did to me, that when I came to Switzerland to live here, and I had a tough time to change in a cultural way. And I went past through, and a lot of things you face in your life. And I never took my experience as a negative way. I learned from those experiences. It is very difficult to transform the negative part to the positive, but I could able to do it because I had a very willing to do. I want to change the world, not like a Steve Jobs or someone like that, but in a small way. And I had always a very, very good bosses who support me, and through those people who were behind me and who was believing my talent, because of that, I came to the radio and television technology, and then became a digital media engineer. And also nowadays I'm working in engineering and design and those things. So what I want to say here is never give up. When you face the negative things in your life, this is the coolest things. You unaccepted education that you learn, and no one can teach you how to behave, and there is no formula.
No formula.
No formula. So that means you have to create your own formula, always hoping in a positive way. That means you should never ever give up, and that's the way you have to accelerate yourself. When I look at the generation Z, and when I talk to young people, I have always a passion to conversation with those people, and what I see that sometimes I get so no patient to talk to them because they are in a different mindset. I think our forefathers did also with us in the same way.
Yeah.
Same. And we should not be conservative, and we should also take them very, very serious, and to also to understand how they are thinking. But at the same time, we never give up. We should never give up to teach them in a way what we experience, because our pathway is help them to transform themselves to go into the next level. But I see that the young generation going to face cyborg community with COVID-19 show us we are facing now almost pre-cyborg generation. This is going to accelerate us to kind of a transhumanism. This is what I feel it. All the tech companies are working on those technology.
Please go deeper into the cyborg thing. This is super exciting.
Yeah, what is cyborg is the Donna Haraway, she wrote the Cyborg Manifesto. I don't have to explain you. Everybody can watch on read on online. You type in Donna Haraway Cyborg Manifesto, and what she predicted is happening, that if you want to create something, plastic wastage, an example, is becoming a part of your body. In the future, you will eat the fish with the plastic inside. This is the evolution, all right? And if we cyborg in a way that we are living with the machine and human interaction, and the artificial intelligence is, for me, is nothing special. It's automation process, and automation process become automation of automation. We will lose a lot of jobs. The young generation not should be afraid of that, because we have to transform our life. We have to change our political way of thinking, also the way how we are earning the money or spending the money. If you look at the China, they only use my mobile phone. They have only one problem, battery power. So they live in a way with the mobile phone. That means they are almost cyborg than us, right?
So you mentioned we're losing jobs, and there's this amazing book out there in the shops. It's called Bullshit Jobs. I'm using this word right here, right now, because this is the official title. We're losing a lot of bullshit jobs. And so now I'm switching that. We have this is a chance to find the right jobs with the right impact that are able to add value to the society. Maybe we're starting to talk, we need to start to talk about unconditional income, of course, because we are valuable at the moment we are born. This is it. And we are able to not have all this job that makes no sense that can be just taken by AI. We have to find new jobs, and we can be creative here. And you said, Suresh, that you get rid of, or you manage to deal with negativity. And my analogy for this is what worked for me. There are so many chances, so many doors opening on your path of life. You're walking through the day, and there are always chances. Somebody asks you for something. Somebody offers you something. And usually we've got a tendency to say no. And if you're working with a no, these doors of possibilities are open, is closing immediately. So there's just one right answer. This is yes. When a door opens, say yes and go through it and see what's behind it. This was my driver to my personal success, and this makes me happy through my whole life. Another analogy could be tennis. You have to play the ball. There's no the ball comes over the net, and you said, I don't want this ball. This is you have to play it, take it, and make something out of it. Always.
Oh, yeah. The way you say that, when the door open, go and experience that pathway, and you have to, after experience, it's like in the scientific research project, you have to go and research something, and after that you can come to the conclusion. Before you touch anything, you cannot say no. And the way you said, when we say yes, and we have a kind of a natural understanding how we can accelerate ourselves. I think for me is always when I look at the China, what they did in 30 years and today how they are, and the Western world, we are losing that, because the Asia is growing and they are super fast in adapting new things, and they are very curious to understand what the future life is and how they are paying everything, and they're using the digital way of paying. I think in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, the newborn babies, they will never understand what the currency was, and they will never they look at the material of the currency, they will look, it's an artwork, right? And they don't see the value because they use the kind of a WeChat, a 10-cent product and like that, and Alipay or whatever is happening in China. So we should look at that kind of revolution, and also the education is going to change that way. I think as Scott Galloway from Stanford University from New York predicted, that the future of university is the education and technology is going to merge, and who are merging in a very fast way, and to implement that very fast way, and they will succeed. I think there is no competition. I think today information is everywhere, and I think we should create our own curriculum where we want to heading to how we are going to work. This is we have to make it in a collaborative way. Before, we came from the clan to the cities, a city from the country to the continent, from continent to global citizen. I think we are almost ready to go outside of our planet to be an interplanetary species, because our Earth is going to be warmer and warmer, and we have to accelerate the human life very fast. That's why the young generation has to put a lot of effort to find out what is new things out there. But the way you said yes, say to the new door to the yes, we have to also say to the new things yes, and to go out of our planet to see what is out there.
Suresh, this is fantastic. But let's go back to Asia. We've been in Asia. Actually, we've been in Colombo together twice to have this opening keynote for the
CXO Forum and the
API conference, and this was fantastic for me. It was the first time in Asia, and I learned a lot, and I learned so much, and I have to really bow down for Asia, because the Western world is so arrogant if it looks to Asia. The Western world always thinks they're heading. They are not heading anymore. We can learn from Asia what they're doing, how they're adopting to new technologies, how they're really embracing it, how playful they are. And this is just crazy to see. And you had this talk at the university in Colombo, and I was making photos of you at the same time. And it's just, when you bring something like this to Asia, they're just blooming up, and they're taking the ball, they're playing it over the net, and they will say, yes, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, this is the mindset. This is the mindset of Asian. Asia is big, South Asia, Southeast Asia, and then Far East Asia, and there are many cultures. We look at from Western world. I'm living in Western side of the world, so that's why I say when we look at from the Western world, we are the way you express, we are arrogant. I think this is the arrogant is our closing our doors, and then we should live in a global citizen and a global society and a global achievement, and we had to put all the energy together, work together, and we should respect the humanity to collaborate together to go to the next level. Before you ask me that what about cyborg? Cyborg is integrating the technology into the human body. To already we are using it, using a Siri, Alexa, Cortana, or whatever is all the digital assistant. It's a pre-cyborg area. And I think is more and more we are going to automate automatic driving and also automatic transportation. And the future, you don't have to think anymore. It's automatically, there are tools is going to help you to optimize your life and health and food and well-being. And COVID-19 teach us how to work differently. I don't think this is one way to work that way, but I think it's one of the example, and we should take this COVID-19 negative example to transform it to the positive way, to the say yes to the door. And at the same time, we have to also analyze what is good for you, what is good for us, and we have to also balance those things. But analytic thinking and critical thinkings are very important for the future of our human creative life.
So the fun fact is, I think Suresh and I met the first time, I think 5 years ago, something like that. And so I met him in his university building. He builds up as a digital building. And so we met using LinkedIn. By the way, you've got our names, Kay Lummitsch, Suresh Surenjan, connect on LinkedIn. We would love to have you there. And then he was showing me his building. And from them, just tell about our first meeting, just for a minute. It was so fun.
So we didn't know each other. Someone introduced us to meet us, and I met Kai, and he came like it's an arrogant way, and I thought, okay, yeah, it's a European and Asian meeting there. We have a different culture. I'm going to show you what I did. So after I show my work, and Kai said, hey, Suresh, you build the grand piano. We needed people to play this grand piano, and it's very difficult to find the people who can play this kind of piano. And then we became friends together, and we are doing together a lot of digital activities, online, offline. We do creative way. We do the work-life balance in a way, eat together, party together, and exchange a lot of ideas, connecting people together. I think with this connection that we made, it is driving us to the next level. And we also built the digital studio together to make the global broadcast style from one-man show that Kai is operating with Brian Otten together. One show, they're inviting a lot of people in that show. Is most of the way is big companies investing a lot of money to create that studio, and COVID-19 pushed us to make that kind of a Kai learn how to do the broadcasting and to deliver to webcast in a very
complicated. Cables, adapters, converters. You should see my apartment. I'm going to show you my apartment. This is how it looks like, actually. This is what Suresh did to my living room. Look at that. This is not fair.
This is the first level of studio, and we are going to make it more and more happening. Michael
Wilkinson.
Wow.
Yes.
So this was actually definitely not Brian. Goodbye, Michael. Goodbye, Michael. Michael will be the next speaker, but I think, so far I know, Brian is already waiting backstage. We tried to get him in, at least for the last 5 minutes.
So how are we going to invite Brian? Michael,
Pablo will take care for it.
Okay.
So this is not our problem. We're going to start to talk about just go on creativity. What's my source of creativity? This rich life, the ability to just follow my instincts here and follow the power of the yes, how I call it. And you need to have people on your side with the same wavelengths, and find smart people close to you and really connect to people close to you. This is what Suresh and I are doing. There are rare friends. There are not so many, but they will bring you further. There's Brian, for example, the Catalyst team, all people I really resonate with. And then you can think stronger. You don't have to make yourself smaller. You can just go forward. And as you always say, Suresh, you always say accelerate, accelerate, accelerate. And you are just right. I don't know exactly how much time we have. I think maybe 5 minutes. I've got one closing word. If Brian can't make it right now, to just 5 minutes. We've got 5 minutes. I'm going to take the last minute to say something about final words about COVID. And
it's a campus party as well, right?
Pardon?
It's a campus party, right?
It's a campus party. I'm feeling it's party-ish. We should introduce some music, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, we've been in the age like you. We had dreams and we had nowhere where this is heading to, and the path, this is a rocky ride. So prepare yourself for a rocky ride. And if you want to go a safe way, it will be most probably super boring. And you will end up in a boring position, in a boring company, doing boring stuff and being at last a boring person. And who wants that? So dare something. This is my message here.
So it's also the way you say it is a don't be, if you don't want to be boring, people should use all the streaming technology, the way the conferences made it now, campus party as well, start to communicate global scale and exchange I think the COVID-19 is helping us to do the video conference. Before we were not able to do that, and the social media help us to do the selfie, and today we are very proud of doing selfies. I think now COVID-19 is telling us, okay, now is with the selfie way of moving picture online. Do the global communication, do more conference, more exchange knowledge, read, exchange, learn something, accelerate your life in your exponential way. The young generation, they should do the global online campus party, right? And when you learn from the university, why you don't exchange from New Zealand? Other university students do the campus party, right? And exchange your knowledge. What do you learn? You exchange, accelerate our life in a very exponential way, that we become an interplanetary species. And we don't have much more time. I think we have 4.5 billion years our sun will explore, and 1 billion years Earth. You cannot live in that form. So we have to learn something. We should go out. So we should start to think about that. But you don't have to do it tomorrow. But we should learn a lot of knowledge just to learn from COVID-19, the way you said, Kai, and also where you said yes to the new door, and open the many other doors to, in a positive way, to learn, go, and accelerate and exponential growth. And we cannot go back and to do something negative way.
So Suresh, this was amazing. So let's try to close, to put a lid on it, just bring a final message to you. You're young people out there. And so we are all facing COVID-19, and we're facing a pandemic. And I think, if I remember my time when I was super young, it wouldn't have affected me in that way. But this idea, and even if politics say wear masks or don't, or do this stuff, my advice here, take it serious, wear masks, just go for social distancing as much as possible, and try to just stay safe in your personal way. We are learning it. We can look in the past, if we're looking to Asia, if we're looking to Italy, and now especially in Switzerland, we are just, everybody took the bus without wearing a mask, and the numbers were rising immediately. And now we're wearing masks, and you can see them just going down. So please, please, please take it serious. And like in the beginning, there was something like, be a dreamer, be a game changer, and first of all, be a troublemaker. Bye from us. Bye from Zurich.
Bye-bye. Stay hungry all the time.
Yeah. Bye.
Goodbye.